Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pillar to Post. I am Rashaun Alleyne, and I'm joined by Kobia Hamblin. And together, we are going to recap last race day's activities. It was the Coolmore Home of Champions race day, and it featured two Grade 1s, the Grade 1 Coolmore Home of Champions Stakes and Trophy, and the 23rd running of the Grade 1 Tanglewood Stakes and Trophy. And Kobia, it was a good day if you were Gay Smith.
It was a brilliant day. I to sit down in her shoes must be
Right.
amazing. Just to see how she felt seeing her horses run 1, 2, 3 in the biggest or the last Gold Cup prep there is, and then upsetting the apple cart in the Tanglewood.
Right, exactly. It probably felt amazing to be her, but we're gonna jump right into that first victory. Well, it was the second victory on the card, but it was the feature. We're gonna jump into the Coolmore Home of Champions that was won by Jared the Nipper. Smoking Tea was second, and Portfolio Company completed the Gay Smith trifecta. And right out of the gates, you saw some tactics from Jared the Nipper and War Beat, which ironically both have never been able to display the speed.
Yeah, I was quite surprised to see War beat up so early. I don't know what got into him that particular day. But Jerry Nipper, who I've been pleading, get this horse on the lead. I need to see a genuine run from him. He's been here for the last 2 years and he hasn't had the lead or he hasn't had a trip that I think he'd be successful with up until this point. And now he's gone. Look at what he's gone and done.
Yeah, for me, I obviously was very wrong about Jared the Nipper. This is a horse who came from overseas and was known for setting the pace and controlling the fractions. And he's come to Barbados, and obviously our turns are tighter. If you've ever seen him, he's very tall, he's robust. There's 9-year-old gelding, excuse me. And I thought this is a horse that in Barbados might just be better off rating than coming with a run. But boy, was I wrong because Jared the Nipper showed the speed that you knew him for in the US, and he was able to get to the front 24 and 4, 49 and 2, 114 flat, 138 and 4. And the final time was 151 flat. Not a very impressive time, but Jared the Nipper was impressive in his way to win. As you said, War Beat showed some speed. I don't know what Jalon Samuel was able to do to get this horse to show this speed, but it was a complete turnaround. And then when you get to the quarter pole, you see the Gold Cup winner of 2024 Portfolio Company coming to the inside of Jared the Nipper, but he's just emboldened by that challenge and repels him. And then there's Smoking Tea to hold off.
Yeah, Smoking Tea was one that I particularly looked at in this race. And every time he runs, I'm thinking he just needs something faster. As you would have mentioned in fractions, you can see that the half mile, Jared Nipper was able to slow it down a bit. The three-quarter
Right.
mile, he was really comfortable. The mile was an absolute walk in the park. This was by no means as fast as what I expect Gold Cup day, because that's basically a 9 furlong sprint. But I think Smoking Tea is going to benefit from a faster pace. He just needs something to run at and pace to come back to him. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to press Jerry Nipple, so the pace never came back in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think that Smoking Tea would benefit from things heating up a bit more up front. And when you look at Boxing Day, maybe sitting a little farther off the pace and not moving as early. But we've seen the final preps for the Gold Cup where Public Sector won the Crown of Blight on Boxing Day. Now, Jerry the Nipper has won the Coolmore, and Smoking Tea, who was favored in both, was down both times, finished in second. So we see what our Barbadian contingent is like for the Gold Cup. And speaking of the Gold Cup, Kobia, we had a new thing. It's the Tanglewood was run for the first time as a win and you're in for the Gold Cup, where it was billed as Barbados versus Trinidad, which it ultimately ended up being, but it was more Nostradamus versus Hello World. Nostradamus did not compete. But if you had told me earlier in the week that with Nostradamus in the race, that a chestnut filly or mare with a white blazer is going to win, if you told me that in December, I'd be like, yeah, Nostradamus for sure is going to win the Tanglewood. That's not who won it at all. 12-1. Pussycat was able to win the Tanglewood very impressively.
Call me crazy, but I think 12-1 was generous. I I I,
Re-
I could not see this horse winning in a million years, and I think that's a beautiful thing about the winning you're in. Sometimes we say I'm going to go with the safer bet and go any tango or go in an undercard race, but look at it now. A horse who, as you said, if you mentioned to me was going to be the winner, if you told me this back in December, you're crazy. No way.
No,
But
as a,
As long as you're in the race, you have a chance. And Pussycat proved that to us once again.
No, agreed. And right off the bat, you look at the tactics, and Valiant is just a horse I can't get a read on. I thought he couldn't stay. He proved me wrong there. And now it might be that he needs the lead. But Dancing Prospector took it to Valiant and took it to the field early, and he ended up
Yeah.
finishing third. I think this was very impressive from Dancing Prospector. But I'm going to jump really quickly to the 4 to 5 favorite as they go around the top turn because Dylan Callawan had to earn every dime of the money that he was paid for this ride, and the second for Hello World is all owed to the rider in this spot because Hello World does not make his job easy.
Yeah, I don't know if Hello World wasn't comfortable, but in fact, even last year in this same time, he was under a ride for about 4.5 furlongs. So I don't know if that's just the type of horse he is. I don't know if he doesn't take to the track very well, so he needs some encouraging. But it was really concerning, passing the paddock bend in a full outride. When it goes back to this horse, Valiant, I had him on my fourth line initially, but when I look back to the form, I said, priceless this round down this horse. I don't like this anymore. And so said, so done. He wasn't missing at the end of the race, but he wasn't on the board at the same time. So
No,
it's
the middle of the pack wasn't far apart from each other, so they all kind of ran the same race. To Hello World, the half mile is 51 and 4, and then 118. So that is a 27-second third quarter. So, like, unlike
yeah.
last year where Hello World had a little bit more of a pace to run into, he didn't get that this year. And that bode well for Pussycat and Dancing Prospector, who were on the pace and were able to finish first and third. And then Pussycat got a phenomenal ride from Antonio Bishop. He used her speed out of the gates, sat on the rails the entire time, bided his time, and got an opening, and when he got that opening, that mare exploded through that space like I've never seen from her before. I definitely did not see this one coming, but she won and she's in, so we'll see if her connections go to the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I do agree with Sean. And as it is, it's a free entry. So why not? When I looked at Pussycat's trip, just as you mentioned, this horse, the jockey used the tactical speed early, got her into position. And if you go back through the race and watch all 11 or 12 contenders, she's the only one who was in no trouble at any point whatsoever. Prospector had Valiant. Prospector pushed Valiant out wide. Headliner missed the break and got into some trouble. This happened to this person. That happened to that person. And Pussycat just had the best race all throughout. And congrats to the connections. I'm very happy for them.
No, that's very accurate. I think she had one of the trips that wasn't bothersome, but we'll see what they do. Definitely the race of her life, and maybe she's just coming into some form. And I didn't have her in this spot, so I'm not going to be a downer in the Gold Cup, even though that water is a lot deeper. But we'll see. Again, all the preps are finished now. We know who won the Tanglewood. We know who won the Coolmore and on Boxing Day. We have our nominations, and again, this one is now going to be Team Barbados versus Team USA, and we'll see which team comes out on top with a number of international entrants being nominated, and we'll dive deeper into that as we get closer to the Gold Cup. But it's Gold Cup season, Kobia, in full swing, and it's a very exciting time of year.
It's in full swing. It's coming at you, and it's coming at you hard. And Rashaun, the only thing I pray for is a full field of 12. I want to see everybody at 100%. I want to see everybody all guns blazing. I want to see the best race that we can possibly have. I think we have some really quality horses coming. I think we have some really quality horses here to defend our nation. But again, it's changed from Barbados versus Trinidad to Barbados versus USA. Let's see who comes out
Yeah,
on top.
let's see who comes out on top. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Pillar to Post. As always, thank you for following us on our social medias. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. And good luck in all your future bets. May all your tickets be winning ones.